Good, man. So we don't live in a perfect world. Somebody's always got to complain. And 50 did this concert, Human Harmony concert in Shreveport, Louisiana, and kind of put Shreveport on the map. They did this over the past weekend, the 8th and the 10th. Moved a lot of traffic, boomed a lot of economy down there. It was a successful event, and didn't get a lot of love from a lot of the bloggers. It wasn't really promoted outside of 50, and there was a lot of comedy, a lot of basically comedy and music. They blended it in where you would have the comics come out, and then you'd have a music artist would come and do a set, then they go back, and you had everybody from Earthquake, Andrew Schultz, Cat Williams was out there. He closed the show. Dave Chappelle popped up. Right, nobody knew Dave was gonna come up. You know what I mean? So it was a lot of heavyweight comics out there, and a lot of people was feeling it. And the biggest part about it was no violence. Right? You thinking if this would have happened 20 years ago, it probably would have went down, right? People think about the Vibe Awards incident and all the stuff G Unit did back in the day. It was none of that. You know what I mean? So everyone was giving everyone praise for how they handled it. It was peaceful. The city loved it. And you got to always have somebody at the rotten apple or somebody got to say something bad. And here comes Luenell. And 50 posted it on his page, Luenell, in this clip in this interview. I'm going to play it right now. Luenell was not at the event, and she's done work with 50 in the past. They're supposed to be cool, Luenell the comic, but yeah, she had something to complain about, as always. There you go.
I want to say that the game is still so misogynistic because I just heard about this comedy festival that my dear friend 50 is having, like right now. And I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know. But from what I have heard, there's not a. I was on, people I know were on planes flying to where it's taking place. And there were several comedians on the plane, but not one female comic. Not one. Now, this may be mistaken. This is the information I've gotten. And I love 50. I did Power book Ghost Book 2. I know he's a comedy fan, but there are men and women in the audiences at these shows. So I think that fair representation only makes sense. Now, other people might argue that there's no females really generating heat right now. I know that I am because of the sellout crowds that I get. However, I was not asked to participate, number one, and I'm booked and busy anyway. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so 50 in his caption, you can't make everybody happy. He saw her, he put her in the Ghost, Power Book 2 show. She was in there, she had like a cameo. He saw her big ass was booked, and she claimed she wasn't. I'm like, okay, what are you complaining about? You was already booked. Like, what are you, like it was misogynistic. I'm like, oh, here we go, because there was no female comics. If the girls that you reached out to were busy, what do you want? I'm sure he probably reached out to Monique. You know what I mean? He reached out to you. What do you want? You know what I mean? I didn't hear anyone who was there complaining about, oh, yeah, it was hot, but it was no female comics. I didn't hear nobody bring that up. And she might have a point when she says maybe it just ain't a lot of hot black female comics right now, just in general. I'm like, yeah, I don't really know. Uh, yeah, you might have a point. You know what I mean? Maybe it's slipping because there's not a lot of them off the top of my head like that are hot right now. You still got some of the old wigs out there like Samore and Andell Givens and some of them like. But I don't know about the new chicks. I mean, unless you want to throw Tiffany Haddish out there. But yeah, she probably wanted too much money. You know what I mean? She on that Hollywood Jew money. She on. So anyway, she's making it seem like it was a misogynistic event and it was no ladies there. And it's like, well, either way, don't try to make a big deal and complain about something when there's really nothing to it, because you wasn't even gonna come anyway. You was booked, whatever you was doing, you either had loyalty to that or you had already got paid, maybe it was more. But to complain about it is like, whatever, you wasn't coming anyway. But somebody always got to complain about something. even when you got some good shit going on. Because this was a good event. I was like, damn, I wish I was there. You know what I mean? And you shouldn't be surprised. It was lit and it went the way it was. They've done this before. They did it with Tycoon when they was doing that in Jersey. They did this in Houston last year. So, you know, they take it all around. But yeah, that was for the studio release that they doing. And gave comics a lot of shine that they needed. I mean, they had Bill Bellamy out there. They had people out there I haven't seen in forever. So yeah, Luenell, I mean, I wouldn't call it misogynistic, but yeah, the other female comics that see this should step your game up. You know what I mean? Obviously, nobody else was there to represent y'all, but I don't really look at it that way. But yeah, I don't really, stand up comedy, no disrespect to the young black up and coming female comics, but I don't know who's popping like that right now that deserve justice that should have been there like that. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do Luenell have a point, or is it misogynistic? People love throwing that word around. Was she right, or was she just tripping? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. I'm out.